This time we're going to be looking at Minecraft for the PC, and as probably a lot of you have seen while you live under a rock, this indie game had pretty much came out of nowhere and ended up being pretty much shoved in the spotlight. It seemed like a split second, since this is, to my knowledge, made by one guy and ended up him making $1 million more or less in a couple weeks and months, or however long exactly been. So you might have heard it from a lot of new, but finding out how to an indie game make so much money and so on. But anyway, on to the game. It's technically two games here. You got the free version that you can play off the website and a web browser that it more or less just Legos. You can't die, you can't craft items, but you have assets to make pretty much any type of building you more or less want. And then the paid version, which that might seem odd for paying for an alpha of a game, but this is a pretty good alpha. I pretty much see this as more or less a full game. If it would just sit, I'd be happy. But with the beta, and then later on, probably the full game, it's going to be a lot of probably add down the road here. But pretty much the pay game is you going from night to night trying to survive and build your little empire of whatever, because it pretty much just left up to your imagination here. So just imagine it pretty much like SimCity or any of them other sim games. The whole building yourself up, knowing this is you're a solitary guy walking your way up instead of a city, but it's the same concept more or less, because they pretty much you gathering resources to build the next great thing. Pretty much like, wood axe, metal axe, steel axe, so on and so forth, and making items, weapon, material to make houses, traps, just making the ability to survive. Because at night, the monster comes out, zombie, skeleton, penis-looking monster that will blow up on contact. But they don't just spawn at night. They also spawn where it's anywhere dark, and that includes how you gain your material by mining. And you might stumble across some of the monsters in some of the dungeons, which have loots at the end if you're able to find them. Pretty much the issue here is just the carrot on the stick. That's all you got going for you. If you die, you just lose your item, which you can get back if you find your dead body. So pretty much the carrot on the stick, it made the net big, great thing. And looking around the environment, which is randomly generated. So every game is guaranteed to be decent here. Which, pretty much the only flaw in this is the material you gather is not labeled. It's just all pictures with the number of how many you have collected. So the idea of crafting items from the material you get can get a little confusing at times. And the idea of making the item to you by taking the materials you need and drawing a picture of pretty much what the item looked like using the materials. So, and it don't translate to the player very well of what one thing is appealed to another beyond the basics, and how the crafting actually work. So as of right now, it's a learning curve here that can easily be justified if you're willing to look online for tutorials or how-tos, and pretty much just find out what all this stuff is and how it works. And the server times can get kind of laggy every now and again. But on the flip side of that is the ability to host dedicated servers. It's helped the problem dramatically. The only issue with the dedicated servers is, of course, you can host the free game, which is identical to the web browser free version that you can get off the Minecraft.net. But the paid version that you hosted, as of the recording, the monster cannot hurt you, so they are more just a nuisance, and you can't really get hurt. But all the mining and the making items are the same. So, overall, for the $13 to $14 US for this game, if you're on the fence, just know that it might be an alpha, but it don't feel like one. And I can't help but recommend it. The only issue here is it's a strange product to sell, since it falls into that SimCity outlook of carrot on stick of making the net big great thing. So that might not vibe with a lot of people, and then the crafting system not being easily explained to the player also could be another problem. So at the game stand right now, I can't help but recommend it, but I can't help but give it a 3 out of 5.